DocMas residents, and welcome to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and next to me is the doctor himself.
It's hang on.
Uh-huh.
Hang on.
Okay.
It's a nice. Santa look at his list.
Oh, it's a nice.
It's a nice.
When you started saying it's a, I was like, is he?
I was trying to say like it's alive.
Yeah.
But it's a nice. Because there's a naughty and nice list.
Or you could say it's a night, I guess.
Fuck. Shit.
Or it's a lights.
Fuck.
It's a nice.
It's a nice.
It's a naughty.
Damn it.
This is the fifth.
Fucking shit.
This is the fifth day of DocMas, in which we record 12 episodes in a single day, releasing them the 12 days leading up to DocMas.
No.
Christmas. Fuck. Fuck.
You had a perfect day going.
Fuck.
Yeah, it's episode 5. The wheels can come off now.
Yeah. Now.
Yeah. Yeah, because they haven't yet.
They've been so on.
Yeah.
It's a nice. Like we do every year, we challenge ourselves to some sort of awful thing we put in our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
This year, it's dairy, or Dairy DocMas, or Moo Dairy Moo Problems. Yeah. As I like to say, we're in the fifth movement of the dairy tonic scale.
Yeah, I mean, up to this point, every year has been something going into our bodies. Next year, for Nutmas.
Oh, no. Forgot you said that. Yeah,
I'm going to be saying that all year long, and then the reveal will be, it'll be like cashews.
Yeah, each episode.
Nutmas.
Yeah, milks and of the physical variety.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a fucking human centipede of you coming into my mouth and my.
We could do a human docapede.
Yeah. Oh god. I hate this.
Yeah. We add one person for each episode. Each guest from the previous episode gets added to the.
Yeah, I guess you could do that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could.
I don't know.
I don't think you should.
Well, that's not really the question we're asking right now.
That's fair.
No, never do we ask if we should.
And we never
We're
will.
always way too busy asking if we could.
And we never will.
No. So this is the dips movement.
Yep. Dip, dodge, dive, duck, and dip.
Yep.
Dairy.
Dairy dips. We've got dairy dips in front of you.
So there's a few things that we got here. We've got a baba ganoush. We've got a French onion dip. We've got a artichoke and Asiago dip. We've got a cream cheese style fruit dip.
Yeah.
And then there's a Tostitos queso dip. We've got veggies. We got fruit to dip in these.
What's the style of this dip you're going for?
Oh, it's cream cheese style.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
How does that begin?
Hey, what kind of style do you want?
Yeah, cream cheese.
Cream cheese. Define your style.
Well,
cheese.
First, you start making a cheesecake. Now forget everything you know.
Yeah, we were laughing. One of the ingredients on one of these dips.
One of the recipe.
The first ingredient is water, and the second ingredient is cream cheese preparation. Which concerned me.
Okay, got a cup of water. Now start making a cheesecake. Okay, and then I also have things to dip into these things.
Yeah, we got veggies and fruit.
So you can put fruit into the cheesecakes dip. You can put cherry tomatoes into anything, carrots into anything. If you want to get really wild, you can take the watermelon and put them inside the French onion. It's up to you.
Yeah, you could get a cinnamon raisin bagel, put chive cream cheese on it. You can do anything, baby.
Yeah, but the rule is we have to try at least one of all of these.
Sure. I'm going to get the queso out of the way here.
Yeah. I also we didn't really plan for double dipping, but whatever. We don't do that.
Well, I wouldn't double dip.
Okay.
How dare you insinuate that I would double dip? The only double dipping I'll be doing is next year during Nutmas.
Oh, I hate that. So you asked me to get a French onion dip. Oh yeah, starting with the queso. Put it in your fucking mouth. Orange on orange. That was a weird move.
Oh,
so
I just don't like it.
But it's barely cheese.
I think that it makes
it's as much cheese as the other ones are.
It makes it worse though.
It's because of the orange? Like
no, I just don't like queso. I don't. Yeah.
Queso.
I also probably shouldn't have used a carrot.
Yeah, that was a weird move.
Probably should have used cauliflower.
It was a very weird move that you did that.
So I did kind of slightly fuck that up. But...
Yeah. If anything, the broccoli's the right move, but
fair.
Guess you'll have to do it twice. Glad you're crunching into this. It's almost as bad as when you brought all of the crunchiest snacks to record.
To last year's DocMas.
Yeah.
They were no crunchy. I brought 6 cheese buns.
That's the craziest pile of food I've ever seen.
I bought an individual pack of salmon jerky.
So yeah, I mean, I love a queso. I'm a big fan. I don't dip often.
Right.
Just like that.
Right.
When I dip, you dip. But and I'm not a big, for the most part, I'm not a big sauce person anyways.
Really?
Yeah, I don't really fuck with sauce very often.
Oh, I love sauce.
I'll do like an aioli on the side of food occasionally.
That's rich as shit.
Oh yeah, that's the.
If I had like 2 more of that fruit dip, I would get diabetes.
So if for those who live in Canada, if you ever go to the President's Choice, any of the Loblaws brands stores, they always have the fruit trays with a dip that goes with it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what this is.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's insane.
It almost tastes like buttercream. Like
it's essentially dipping it into icing. Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
It's basically if icing and yogurt had a child. That's what this dip is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I do love a French onion dip, though. I did request that because I got a big weakness for that. I love just getting like plain Ruffles and like a French onion dip.
If I'm going to dip a chip, it needs to be a plain Ruffles.
I love that shit.
Any fucking psychopaths out there who dip like
I
a
wouldn't
fucking
dip a
like a salt
chip.
and vinegar chip with a dip is insane.
God. I would never dip a flavored chip.
That's a fucking war crime.
Yeah, it's the worst thing a person could do.
I can't think of anything worse.
There is nothing worse.
Oh, I don't know. I think
Adolf Hitler joke from a different podcast.
Yeah, on a different week. But yeah, so I love baba ganoush. If there's a dip that I will eat a lot and I will put often on charcuterie boards is a baba ganoush. I fucking love it so much.
I never used to really love eggplant, but that's like one of my favorites. Yeah, that's a great one.
Not an aubergine fan?
I am now. I like it now. But like I think that's like a thing you grow into. I don't know if there's a ton of kids that like love eggplant.
Yeah, maybe like in the countries where baba ganoush is from.
No, not even there. Here we go, baba ganoush. And a loud ass celery crunch. This is some juicy celery.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fucking juices are thick.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say the celery was enjoying it.
It's fucking hard as a goddamn rock.
Yeah, baba ganoush, great choice.
Always my favorite.
Love that. My wife loves a like a spinach dip.
Oh yeah,
like something like spinach and artichoke kind of dip. She'll go for that. So that artichoke and Asiago one. See, look at that. Flip it around so it's not a double dip.
Your wife loves any sort of appetizer dip that you'd get at like an Applebee's, Montana's.
She can go for that.
Yeah.
Although usually it's in that vein, like an artichoke, spinach kind of. She likes that. Yeah, these are all great.
All of them?
The queso, I will say, to its credit, I love it's got that onion flavor
onion forward, yeah.
that I like about a French onion dip. I just don't like the faux cheese sauce because that's a thing that doesn't work for like. Every time I'm on TikTok and I scroll and I like look at these like recipe things and then they're like, we make this thing, I go, that looks amazing, and they go, and then the final step and they just dump like a pot of cheese on something. I'm like, well, damn it!
Now I can never want
you
this.
ruined it. Yeah. That's kind of how I feel about it. But
okay, let's get into the questions.
Let's do it. We're gonna keep eating loudly while we do it.
Yep.
Oh God.
Yeah. If it's ever been enjoyable to listen to DocMas, just every.
I mean, they are historically our least listened to episodes,
and yet we keep punishing ourselves and putting them out as if people look forward to them.
Well, the psychos do,
yeah,
and they're the ones paying. So.
I mean, truly,
so
they are the ones that
you know who you are.
Hell yeah! All right, let's go over to Instagram.
Now we're going to Instagram, take some questions and answer them.
First question comes from, our favorite religious representative.
Chris Chan.
Yeah, come on, catch up.
Well, it's weird. Some of these are like newly submitted questions. Some of these are like I went back to the mailbag to fill out.
Oh, sure.
episodes a little bit. So.
Chris Chan asks, who did you vote for in the 2021 Canadian federal election? Why? Let's get political.
Oh.
Yikes.
2021. I think I voted.
What did I do? Oh, no.
Wait, what?
I wasn't paying attention and I dipped this in that.
You dipped watermelon
in Baba
Ganoush. Do it. Do it. Did you just discover something great or weird?
Nope. Wasn't good.
2021, I think I voted NDP, which is the New Democratic Party. That's like theoretically, it's the lefty party in Canada, although in recent years they've moderated in a way that I don't 100% love.
Nobody's good.
I voted for them. You know, they're always the third party. Like they're unlikely really ever to win. But it's at this point, it's like, what are my other options? Mm-hmm. I used to be the kind of person that would vote strategically, like the lesser of two evils kind of thing. And I'd vote for the Liberals and be like, well, things won't move forward, but they might not move backwards.
Yes.
That was kind of like, that was my strategy. And well, I shouldn't even say I'm past that. On a federal level, I'll vote NDP. I on a more local level, like on a territorial level, it's weird and different because like
you know who the people
are. So really, I mean, in a way, it's probably how politics should work a little bit better. But like, with the exception of like if the party had an insane platform piece, I tend on a territorial level to just vote based on the person.
Yeah,
because you know you basically can have their ear anyway.
Yep.
Like it's sort of a different vibe, which in some ways I think is better, and in other ways it doesn't work when the rest of the system is still set up for party stuff. You know what I mean? Like it'd be better if we just abandoned parties altogether and did like Nunavut does, like consensus style government or something for the territory. But no, like nationally, I tend to vote NDP. Mm-hmm. At the very least, you know, if they don't form government, I want them to have enough seats to wield like what they have right now. Like they have a confidence and supply agreement with the government. You can push a few things through, like a sort of base level pharmacare thing is getting pushed through. You know, like you get like little bits of progress by even having them at the table propping up a minority government.
Yeah,
and so that's kind of where I'm at with that generally.
Yeah, I mean, from the territory,
I voted Liberal a bunch though, like nationally over the years, but that was my strategic voting kind of era.
Yeah, I mean, I've always voted Liberal nationally. I think that every year locally it gets more complicated for me, but I think nationally, for the most part, the Liberals are so in the fucking middle that it like affords us the ability to be able to like have some change and without it being too radically in any direction.
I mean, truly, at the national level, it's just better than having the Conservatives in.
Yeah.
That's kind of the best you can say about them.
Yeah. I'm at a point now where I kind of don't like anybody. It's challenging for me to want, like, there's things that I like and don't like about all of the parties right now.
Which, if you're paying any attention, that should generally be your position.
Yeah. And so I'm not looking forward to the next election cycle.
I certainly will never just card carry for a party, for any party. I would never just be like, and I'm this, and I'm a member of the like. It's like, why would you do that? They're just gonna do something like, just be a free agent, vote for the people doing the right thing in that moment, and then when they kind of veer, then you vote for the next people who want to do the right thing, and then when they inevitably stray, you know what I mean? You should...
Yeah, it's a really tough situation here.
Yeah, it's tough, but there you go. That wasn't that political.
No, not really.
I mean, it's also like our dynamic isn't like, left and right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's time to hash it out.
Don't know what you thought was going to happen here.
I am more right than you are, but like,
I mean, barely.
Yeah, only just because I'm a business owner.
Yeah, but even then, like, barely.
Yes, absolutely.
You know.
All right. Next question. Leaving Instagram and heading over to Reddit.
Where everyone's nice, no one's ever mean.
Yep. And a Lord of the Rings character I will not be today is constipated Gandalf.
Doesn't like cheese and dairy, isn't it supposed to, as my grandma would say, bung you up?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but the lactose intolerance does the opposite.
So theoretically, you should be like totally neutral by the end of this.
Maybe.
If you eat so much that it constipates you enough to counter your lactose intolerance.
Yeah.
Maybe you've just never pushed through before.
Yeah, I need to reach absolute shitty 9.
The man who mastered absolute shitty 9. Oh, God. We're on fire. From downtown.
For 3. All right. Constipated Gandalf asks, if Uncle Sam is empowered by the spirit of American patriotism, would you like to see a new DC superhero empowered by the spirit of Canadian patriotism? And what would that character look like to you? Probably a lot like fucking Uncle Sam.
Wow. Now let's get political. This question.
Yeah.
I've talked about it before in that Robert Venditti Freedom Fighter series. Right at the end of it, you start seeing like the national symbols of other countries. You see like Marianne in France and stuff like that, which is interesting. And I like the idea of, in the comic, of those things existing. But here's my hot take about Canadian patriotism, is I think it's like very shallow. Like, I think in general...
Well, until fucking Freedom Convoy.
Well, no, but what I mean is, to say you're proud of Canada, what does it mean? So if you're Freedom Convoy, like right-wingers, it means that you have actually forgotten you're in Canada and you think you're in the States.
Yeah.
And you go, what about my First Amendment rights? You go, like, that's not up here. You know? So there's those people, let's just count them out because they don't know anything. The next version is like, what do you love about Canada? Be like, hockey, moose, maple syrup. And then it's
really
like
patriotism.
But it's not really patriotism. It feels so surface level. And then any layer deeper than that, you go, but we're all from different places. And we all live, like, there's so many different cultures and that. The country's so big. Like, I kind of think
there is no Canadian identity.
And well, it's not even necessarily that there isn't one, but it's that we don't focus on it. Like, I feel like part of growing up in America is like learning what it is to be American.
Yeah.
And that's like, you know what I mean? Like we're different. We don't see things that way. Yeah. I'm being very broad here. Yeah, there are some people that do, but again, the people that are like, I'm proud to be Canadian, I fly my flag. Like all they're doing is just America with a different flag. Yeah, that's all they're doing. So it's not even really a Canadian symbol. So I actually have a hard time imagining what the national spirit of our country would even look like. Because, like, France has a identity, and I know that there's a lot of immigration that, but, like, it's France. Like, if you move to France, they're like, be French. Like, they're not, like, what was the thing they used in school? America is called the melting pot, right? Where all these cultures come together, and then you melt, you become one thing. We're the cultural mosaic. Where you don't change your thing, and we all just live side by side.
Totally.
And so it's really hard to imagine an Uncle Sam type figure for Canada if that's the case.
Yeah, or they just like it's a weird looking person with like a hijab and a like cowboy hat and a like
and they got skates on and a beaver tail.
If anything, but then it's like if you're gonna find a Canadian identity, it's like French Canadian has an identity, but like that's not all of Canada. Yeah,
you know, and even on an Indigenous level, like
They're all
a lot
so
of people,
fucking different.
A lot of people aim for like that West Coast art, but that's just over there. Like, that doesn't address, Eastern First Nations or Northern First Nations or like stuff like that. So it is, I think it would be a challenge to do it even fictionally in a way that didn't seem like super disingenuous.
Yeah, or like the American version.
Worst case, offensive.
Yes, but it's like often it's just the American thought of Canada, which is just like lumberjacks and like fucking maple syrup, and it's like that's actually not an identity here at all.
I mean, in my personal view, the most patriotic thing a Canadian can do is not really think about being Canadian that much.
Oh my god! So it's like an invisible guy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, really, really hard.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the next question, which means we're leaving Reddit and heading over to the Doc scored.
Oh. Doc scored. Doc scored. Doc scored all the Doc. Scored, Doc. Scored, Doc.
Wow,
scored,
just
Doc. Scored, Doc.
One word. Yeah. Sometimes you at least like blend in other words.
Nope.
I feel like you're having a brain aneurysm.
Doxing through the score.
Hey, there we go.
In a one scored.
This is why.
Sleigh.
Over the fields
Docs
of.
We scored. Scoring all the Docs. Ha ha ha. The Docs.
Oh, you fucked it up.
Fuck.
You got a little too big for your britches there.
Idiot. Stupid.
First question from the Doc Score comes from Cosmic DM Classic, who asks, what title or character has the best runs?
I did it too.
What?
I put my melon in bottom ganoush.
How does it taste?
Weird.
Yeah, it's not good.
I don't hate it.
No.
Like melon and bacon.
Sure. That's not what that is, but...
Let me cook.
Yeah, let him cook. It's baba ganoush, which is neither bacon or a meat. So the first question from the doctor comes from Cosmic DM Classic, who asks, what title or character has the best runs in comics? Not just single arc, but constantly.
I would say The Flash, probably. Because whether it's been Barry or Wally, I would say there hasn't been like a horrible, oh my god, I can't believe they did that Flash arc like since the 70s. You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah.
And that's not to say they're all impeccable quality, but I don't think you do the thing where it's like there are some Batman stories that are like woof, and some Superman stories that are like woof, like For Tomorrow or something. You know, Wonder Woman has that like I think Flash, maybe for the last 5 decades, has basically never been worse than pretty good.
It's fair.
Certainly as a title, almost definitely as a character. I think I'd say the Flash, and that's through Barry being the Flash, Wally being the Flash, Bart being the Flash. You know, like there's a few different versions of things, a lot of different creative teams. The Flash is pretty resolute, I'd say. Do you have any other ones that you'd maybe throw out there that you think have more or less a good kind of hit record, pretty consistent?
Ooh, that's tough. I mean, I partly want to say Shazam.
Interesting. Now, there certainly haven't been
that many Shazam arcs, that's why.
And the books themselves aren't consistent, but the quality of them. Interesting. I think the only thing you run up against there is like the purists who are like, I don't like Shazam, I like Captain Marvel.
Well, I know that's why I said Shazam.
There's that kind of shit, but yeah, interesting. That's not unfair.
It's not a character that has like wildly amazing stories, but like
I get what you're saying.
The hit ratio has always been pretty decent.
Relatively consistent.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. Yeah, weird. Interesting. Yeah, see, Aquaman... I think Green Arrow is actually another one I'd throw up there.
Really?
The only real blip for me is the early New 52 Green Arrow. But other than that, like when there is a Green Arrow book, they're generally pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd put Green Arrow in the kind of consistent camp too.
it's a character you can pretty much count on to
more or less. Yeah.
I think so. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Last question from the doc score comes from only just but fart but, who just asks, are there any new conventions that you'd like to attend in 2024?
Ooh, you start with this one. Go for it.
New conventions? Like,
not that they're starting this year, but just ones we haven't been to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, there's tons. I mean, we've wanted to go to San Diego for years. I'm gonna fucking go to Dragon Con. No.
Oh yeah. Save it for Nutmas.
I've been trying to get us into the Supernatural convention for a long time now, and they haven't been super interested in that.
Yeah, which is crazy.
I know. It makes no sense.
We're the best Supernatural rewatch podcast, and I mean that.
At least
I'm not joking.
Yeah, and baseline, at least in Canada, where there's a giant convention, and we're not far from them. Like, it makes no sense why they're not including us, I think.
Yeah.
And I try not to get too
They're
big.
afraid of our power.
I think that must be it. I mean, we do have an aggressive amount of power over those fans.
Yeah.
And wield it.
Yeah, and we know it.
Yeah.
That's the most dangerous part.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's one that I'd really like to go to. I mean, what sucks is that most of the most of the of my favorite conventions have changed or are not what they used to be. Like, I've always wanted to go to like E3, and that doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Which sucks. I think that...
I mean, even San Diego's changed a bunch.
Yeah.
But
Marvel's really pulled out of that.
But maybe in a way that makes me want to go more.
Well, it's going to be more comic book focused, which is cool.
Yeah.
It might actually be more tenable at this point because it's not a big celebrity thing, right?
Yeah, truly.
So I think that's probably up there. I think...
I heard good things about Calgary.
Yeah, we had heard a lot.
Some of the other podcasters that we met at Fan Expo in Toronto.
Yeah, so
Calgary's a little bit on my radar.
Yeah, Calgary for sure. I mean, otherwise, like most major ones, like comic conventions and stuff, like I'd love to go to a convention in like the UK or like parts of the States, like New York Comic Con. I really enjoyed. I'd love to go back.
Right.
But yeah, I think for the most part, that's probably those specific ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I mean, I don't know that I have a vastly different list. I kind of just want, more than going to more cons, I just want the cons we go to give us more.
Wow, that's an honest ass answer.
And I deserve it.
What? Oh my god, what's happening here? He's
and
been
if my
activated.
demands aren't met.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I lost 40 pounds of weight.
Yeah, and I'm about to give 40 pounds
of confidence.
Yeah. That's what I call my fists.
Oh my god, confistence. Hell yeah.
All right.
Okay, was that the last of the actual questions? All right, so then we know what time it is, baby.
How bearable is this question?
Oh, no, that's not it.
Do you want me to flip this one? Or?
I can do it.
Okay.
This question from Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Most expensive comic you have.
Oh.
So, let's flip. Fucking heads again. What the shit? Most expensive comic I have. I'm going to interpret this as highest value and not necessarily most paid for.
I'm going to go most paid, but yeah.
Okay, well, what do you have that you paid the most for? Because you're clearly thinking of something.
Yeah, I paid the most for my first issue, first run. What If Marvel? My Marvel What If #1.
How much?
I'm not married anymore. I paid around like 170.
Not. I mean, I don't know the valuation of the comic, but $170 for a comic you really, really want.
Yeah.
That's hard to find. That's like it clearly is a priority, but that's not like, I thought you were going to say like
a grand.
$500.
No. I haven't done that. Yeah. The one that's probably worth the most is maybe my Miles Morales #1, like first run, maybe, but it might be the what if. I don't know.
I have a few first appearances that are, I mean, maybe not like worth a ton, but they're probably among the ones that are worth the most that I actually own. You know, I've got Flash 139. That's the first appearance of Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
I have the first appearance of Black Manta. I have the first appearance of Ocean Master.
Hell yeah.
I have the first appearance of the Fisherman. That's a less so, but just one that I like. I have Black Manta taking his helmet off, like that reveal. I've got the first appearance of Granny Goodness. Like I've got like an early Mr. Miracle. I think it's Mr. Miracle #2 or something. I have some stuff like that, but I don't think I have anything that really crosses into the like wild threshold.
There's so few that
Reverse
even
Flash is probably the closest one. My Flash 139, because it's in okay condition. You could probably get a couple hundred for it, maybe. But that's, I think, what we're talking. I don't know that I think you'd have to put a lot of work in and catch someone either. Like you'd have to catch them in a seller's market a little bit to get like to crack 1,000 or something. But I could probably get a couple hundred for a couple of the comics
The world does not exist where you can where you find mystery expensive comics anymore. It doesn't exist anymore.
And mine are in decent condition, but especially if you're one of these people, you'd be like, well, it has this, it has that. Like you just start dinging until you.
Yeah, exactly. It's never been the thing for me. If I've spent a lot, it's because I was trying to find a book, not because I was trying to find an expensive book.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's always the thing for me. So yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. I don't think I've ever spent more than like $40 or $50 on a single comic.
Yeah.
And that's happened rarely when I've done that.
I can't imagine a book that you would spend that money on unless it was like the ones you already have.
Because I'm relatively cheap about it.
Yeah.
Like, I like that stuff, but I'm also like, I'd rather just have more things than,
Absolutely. All right.
You hear me, cons? I want more.
Yeah, they heard you. All right. Well, that was the last question for this episode, which means we are heading away. But before we do, make sure that if you're going to ask us a question for any episodes coming up in the new year, you send them to our various social media platforms, or you can send us an email at Ghostface or Dr. DC Podcast at Gmail.
How dare you? Listen, when we do Ghostmas,
that's what I call. No, let's make it rain. If you want to get even more content from us, you can subscribe to our Patreon for $1, $5, and $7 levels.
Patreon.com/DrDC. You get access to the Doc Score. The higher levels, there's bonus episodes, bonus series. It all helps to support us.
Tons of extra stuff. And I already slipped in a little bit of a hint to it, but we have another podcast.
But just the tip.
Yeah, it's Ghostfacer. Yeah, here's a tip. Why don't you subscribe to Ghostfacer's Supernatural Rewatch, where we cover every single season, every single episode of the CW's Supernatural. We're in season 8 right now, halfway through that. It's finally gotten good again. And it's... What did you just do?
I just bit my own teeth.
What? You just knock your teeth against your teeth?
I just bit my teeth.
No, but that's not a thing that you could do.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Ciao, ciao.
Adios.
Bit my teeth.
Heroes, they always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.